Years ago, a man named Tom Fuhrman left his business to pursue a dream. The dream of becoming a glass blower, of all things. Well, scores of paperweights, figurines, and vases later, he's followed that dream. And right now, Teresa Bush takes us for a personal visit at his studio in Woodbury.
What I'm doing now is just heating that up onto the end of here so that it will make a nice little donut shape.
At an age when a lot of folks retire, Tom Fuhrman is still working. Well, it's not really work to him.
I'm going to take this over to what we call a marver.
Glass blowing has been Tom's passion since childhood.
I'm going to come over here to the furnace and do an activity that we call gathering. Rotate it in clear glass in there. My first bubble started, and you can see that the shape of it changed somewhat there.
It got more round.
Yeah, it got more round, and it actually increased in size just a little bit.
Tom bought a glass paperweight at a yard sale when he was 10 years old, and that's when the bug bit him, and he wanted more.
I bought one glass paperweight, and I saw it, and it was made by the Baccarat company in France, and it was really nice, but I didn't have enough money to buy it. So I went and put $5 down, and then it was $5 a month for about 6 months, and finally got that, just a really fine piece that I've had, ever since then. And then I collected them, and then I finally decided I wanted to make my own. I'm basically self-taught. I took one course in 1974 at the Toledo Museum of Art. Really didn't learn that much because the people back then really didn't know that much about glass blowing and what they were teaching. But at least it got me started.
That was more than 30 years ago. Then in 1999, at the age of 50, Tom and his wife decided to leave Indiana and follow his dream.
My wife saw an Oprah show one day, and they were talking about people starting over, new beginnings, starting off on something different, moving somewhere else. And she went to the library and found a book called 100 Best Little Art Towns. Woodbury was listed in there. It was the only one in Tennessee. I would kind of jump off the cliff and give it a try because I didn't want to look back when I was 75 and say, gee, I wonder if I could have made it as a full-time artist.
He sold his light fixture company, packed his bags, and landed just outside Woodbury in the sight of picturesque Short Mountain. And there's no doubt about it, Tom Fuhrman has made it. 3 of Tom's pieces are permanently displayed in Music City. He designed 4 Art Deco waterfalls outside the Frisch Center for the Arts. He collaborated to make an out-of-this-world mobile in the children's area of the main library. And this 2,000-pound gem sits in the lobby of Southern Hills Medical Center. But don't let these big items fool you. Tom makes glass pieces for every taste and every pocketbook.
I can associate with everybody in all the different economic stratas. I would like all of them be able to own something that I've made. To find pieces that can speak to everyone of different economic levels and different social levels makes me feel good. I feel that when you make a piece like that, then it's successful.
You'd think after all these years, Tom would have a signature style, but he doesn't.
I do a lot of different techniques and try a lot of different things. If you look at my work, you can't look at it and say, oh, he does this thing, and that's his style. Because, I go in a whole lot of different directions and I use a lot of different techniques.
Tom is also a teacher. He's willing to school anyone who has the desire to learn about molten glass.
Let that cool just a little bit more. If we go back into the furnace too hot, this isn't cool enough. This glass will just run off into the furnace. Now we'll just give that a little bit of a puff again.
What happens if you make a mistake along the way, Tom?
Nobody knows but me. I mean, you don't know how many I've already made already. I bumped it just a little bit and we lost it. And that is what makes glass so expensive. I can look at what other people do and I never know whether they're making a mistake. You know, if a guy that's doing a wood carving, you know, if he doesn't do the right little petal on a rose, you have no idea that he made a mistake. You know, I mean, that's what it's all about.
After all these years, Tom says he can no longer picture himself doing anything else but this.
That I have fun doing what I do, you know, and if it's not fun, you know, then I'm going to go on and do something else. Because when it's all said and done, I mean, that's all we've got are memories, you know, and if you don't have good memories, you know, then what else have you got?